Hello, and here we are with a long belated video. I have 3 new colors in today, and they're basically a review. They're 3 colors, 2 of which I'm really excited about, and one of which is an old favorite, because I love organic vermilion. I've had it in cheaper brands. It's the first time having it in the Daniel Smith, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what this is like. I apologize for the chaos of my desk. I have some reorganizing going on, and our light quality is poor today, so we're using artificial lights. I've heard a lot of people talk about this ultramarine turquoise. It sounds really exciting. I like turquoise. I look forward to seeing what it does on this piece of paper that I set here. This is a piece of 300-pound Canson X. No, not Canson. This is their watercolor paper, so it's cotton paper, really thick stuff. This is something I was excited about when I heard about it, because aside from art, I also love a bit of history. This is Newton and Windsor's Tyrion Purple. Now, since I didn't pay $100 for this tube, I'm going to assume this is a synthetic copy. This is a hue. So I'm excited to see what this is, and while I'm doing it, I'll tell you a little bit about it. First of all, I did not research what organic vermilion really is. I'm going to assume it's probably an insect-related thing, but I'm also going to guess that I'm probably wrong. I may look it up later and talk about my favorite color in something else. Ultramarine turquoise. We're all familiar with ultramarine in general. It's everybody's either loved or hated blue color, often used in skies. It's been around for ages and is made from crushed stone. And in fact, I believe, unless I've gotten my blues crossed, it was originally made from lapis lazuli, which I have actually had the pleasure of sampling lapis lazuli watercolor paint and found it to be disappointing. You're probably wondering why I didn't tape this down. I'm wondering too, but since I'm not making any kind of real art piece, I'm just not going to care. Actually, what I might do is that thing everybody talks about where they wet both sides and make it stick, since I have a glass countertop here. Let's go ahead and do that. Put the water there. Paint a little on the back side of this. This paper has different textures front and back, which is probably a good thing, or I probably wouldn't remember which side was the front or which side's the back. I didn't bother to mark these. Go. Sorry for the gunkiness on my part also. We've had a lot of fires here in Arkansas lately, and the air quality has been abysmal. Quite a few of my friends and family have had similar issues. A number of controlled forest fires, and unfortunately quite a few structure fires as well. Apparently the arsonists are out in force. Although at least one person that I know of was a construction incident. They were recharging some batteries for some work equipment in their house, and woke up to that being on fire. So there's a note, folks. Be careful when you are doing construction, and be careful where you keep your batteries charging. They do get very hot when they're recharging. I have apparently thrown away my blotting towel. There we go. It's a place to get rid of my excess water, because there's no point in using this giant brush for that. Where did my brushes go? I did mention this place is pure chaos. I will hang my brush up later. Which brush is this? No, this is one of those. Okay. Yeah, let's just use this one. This is a synthetic. This is a Master's Touch, which means that unfortunately it will die a very quick death. I've not had good luck with these brushes. But I'm going to put just a little whoop, and it's going to squirt a bit. People have squished it in transit. I don't need much. Oh my goodness, there's so much in that cap. Someone has squished this in transit. I'm going to set this here, and when I'm done, I'll get a clean half pan and do something with that. Anyway, that's the vermilion. This is ultramarine turquoise, and fortunately has not been smashed. Though from how thick it's come out there, I'm going to say it's probably a little on the older side, which is surprising, considering the number of people that were telling me they were trying to get a hold of that color. Okay, this one is, oh, this one's pristine. Here we go. Okay. Set that aside. And yes, I am using these together deliberately. I want to see how they interact. Now, let's see. Let's go with vermilion, because even though it should be a very staining color, it's not going to be quite as hard to wash off my brush as the purple and the turquoise. So I'm going to start it off in this corner pretty hot and see where it goes. See how it spreads. And I'm also going to put some here in the center because I want to see how that works. And then just kind of fan it out a bit here, so we can see how far a little bit of this paint really is going to go. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the vermilion I love. Love vermilion. Beautiful, bright. Let's see, let's do the purple next, because this is the one I've been so excited about. Now, Tyrion purple is the purple that we usually hear about when we hear about old times and old royals talking about the purple. And it was a very changeable color because it was made from dried snail slime, from a very specific sea snail. And I'm given to understand that the pigment itself really stinks. I'm guessing it probably smells like dead fish, given that it's from a snail and basically dried snail snot. But the color could be very changeable originally, because it could be anything from almost pink to what I'm seeing here, which is a very lovely violet color. It was also traditionally known as reddish purple. And yes, Lydia, the seller of purple from the Bible, probably was selling Tyrion purple. Whether she was selling clothing and other objects dyed with Tyrion purple or the pigment itself, I don't know. I'm gonna guess it could have been both. But considering the price of Tyrion purple, which was prized above the price of pearls and diamonds, I'm gonna say that it wouldn't have mattered. I mean, if you're selling something that outweighs the price of diamonds and pearls, then you're probably not overly concerned about dyeing objects particularly. I know that there's another person who has covered Tyrion purple, and she had the real deal. She spent the outrageous amount of money for just a very, very few grams of the real thing, so that she could give you the precise and lengthy history of purple. I believe you can find her on YouTube under the name of Brush with Rebecca, or maybe it's Brush with Becca. I think it may just be Brush with Becca. But anyway, if you are really interested and see her posting for that, it's pretty interesting. There are other ways to get purple, though this was probably the most prized. You could also get purple from taking onion skins from the red onion, and this is the ultramarine turquoise. Let's see what that looks like. Gives a good concentration. But anyway, you can get it from other ways, and usually you get it. You take the object you're dyeing, soak it, get your dye, dry out the dyed water that you end up with this, and you'll scrape that off and end up with a powder. And this here, and see how the three of them talk to each other. If they will talk to each other, they may not talk to each other. I expect I can get a gray from either side of this, because I'm going to overlap them slightly and see what they do. And I'll still have to do my proper swatching, which goes on in my little book. But I'm going to leave this where it is, basically. Yeah, we can see this turns into almost Payne's gray blue shade. When these two mix together, it turns into a very purplish, bluish gray. This, not quite sure what this is doing. It's definitely a much darker gray, perhaps a warmer gray. It may even be turning into brown. Let's see what happens when I pull this to the side. Ooh, we've got granulation going on here. The vermilion and turquoise are separating a bit. You can see the turquoise on the outside is a surprisingly lighter, because ultramarine is usually quite granulating. And we can see all the orange stuck in the center. It's not flowing out, which it clearly did on this sample. Very interesting. Go ahead, and yes, I know I didn't wash it, but I've taken most of it off on the paper. So yeah, okay, maybe the granulation is coming from the turquoise, because we can see it's much more purple in the center, and the blue comes out from it. Very pretty. I am pleased with all of these. Quite pleased with all of these. Feather this one out, give it a little bit more water. I just want to see what it does. With a little bit more water, since the paper's gotten slightly drier. Still try to keep the concentration concentrated. Oh, excuse me. There we go. Very interesting. I can see I'm going to have a lot of fun with this. This is a very beautiful color. I see a lot of it in pansies. I see it, where else do I see it? Usually in flowers. Although, obviously, it comes from snails, too. Where did that go? Did they have the pigment information on this? They're supposed to. Let's see, London, numbers, Codex France. Oh, here we go. Pigments, PV37 and PR202. So anybody wanting to look this up and see what pigments are in this, it's PV37 and PR02, which means, yes, obviously no snails were harmed in the production of Tyrion Purple from Windsor Newton. The vermilion, because they're supposed to tell us these days what's in these, although I may have to go to their website to look it up. It says it conforms to some things. Oh, here we are. A single pigment number, so it's just PR188. Light fastness is 2, so it's not totally permanent, but it's not going to fade immediately. And the ultramarine turquoise is PB29 and PG7. Its light fastness is 1. I can never remember if that's better or worse. I think that's supposed to be good. I think it is. The other one, does it say what its light fastness is? It says permanence B. So probably not totally light fast, but it's not terrible either. But if you're leaving your stuff in the sunlight, well, you're going to get what you're going to get, and you probably deserve what you get if you're really going to leave your work in the light like that. And not use museum glass so that it doesn't fade in the sunlight if you're going to have a bright, sunny house. Sounds wonderful. A nice, bright, sunny house. I get a nice, bright, sunny studio, so you get to enjoy what I look at. And this is what I have looked at today. I also got some paper. I have a lot of chaos in the room behind me because I have a new cabinet and I've replaced some of my older furnitures, and yeah, it's a lot. But I hope you've enjoyed the review of these 3 colors that I happen to really love, and I hope you have a wonderful day painting. In the meantime, have a good one. Bye-bye.